I'm Beth as well. Just to introduce myself, my name's Matthew Wright. I wrote a book during lockdown. Broad thing of it, I quit drinking 4 years ago. I had a lot of experience. I was in the Navy. Could have been a world champion drinker, don't get me wrong, but they didn't have a world champion Olympics at the time. So I quit at the top 4 years ago. I'm glad to see everyone having a drink tonight, so I hope you all enjoy it. But, honestly, it doesn't bother me a bit. It's the best thing I've ever done. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'll read a chapter from the book later on. But as James, I've written something, written ropes.
Exactly, I know.
Whatever. We've written stuff. I can say what we want at the end of the day.
Oh, no,
I want stuff upside down in my book and they know I'm starting here. Right, okay, here we go. Right, so a piece I wrote called Kaleidoscope, Murmurations. It's going to take about 8 minutes to read, with a mess up for about 8.5, and we chatting shit maybe about 10.5, but we get through it, guys. 2 years ago, I've been sober for 2 years, and the world is about to enter its first lockdown. Unprecedented times ahead. My life didn't change that much, because I worked every day of the lockdown anyway. As a recovering alcoholic with questionable mental stability, I quickly made the decision that lockdown was not for me, so I carried on my life in my own little way. I would drive up and down the deserted M4, making drop-offs of herbal medicine to friends and family in the South Wales valleys, to help alleviate the dread of the dystopian future that divides society the media revel in. I was still 6 months away from even thinking about writing a book. The universe was still testing me. I'd come to manipulating things in my mind to help me understand things a little easier. You know, like pictures the instruction leaflet of a fucking IKEA flat pack. I'd come to understand we were all only on a short journey, and the universe was the gatekeeper as to how long our own individual journeys would last. I came to think of the universe as a fruit machine, with every human on earth that powered the fate of a spin. We as humans are simply the cherries, the melons, the bars, the sevens, and the jackpots on the wheels of the universal bandit. We were in control of nothing and spun daily to determine our fate. The start of lockdown was cool, as it was a novelty. Everyone was still being nice to each other, in the times before conservative governments encouraged British society to snitch on your neighbours, be proud to be a backstabber. There were lots of music being shared on social media, and conversations with old friends become more common, as we all look to each other for support and normality. Top 10 songs, and top 10 albums, and top 10 movies become a daily invite as we all strive to pass the time. I listened to lots of different types of music and started picking things up with song lyrics that had a different impact on me now than when I was younger. I even picked up a book. No, I'm not a big reader. In all honesty, I haven't read much since I burned all my porno mags in the garden about 12 years ago. After my kids almost found them while hunting for Christmas presents in the wardrobe. Broke my fucking heart burning those. Very special very stuff they had with Veronica Zevon over it on a pool table. You know, burning that, burned part of my soul. And I don't know if I'll ever get over that. The book I read was by American singer Mark Lanigan. It was a typical sex, drugs and rock and roll type of affair. It was a good book and I enjoyed it. So I explored some of his music also in order to make me identify the similarities we both shared. Lanigan could say in 25 words what most writers took 125 to say. Close your eyes and listen to Julie Paradise. I can see the music. I can hear a movie. He didn't waste a word or put where it didn't need to go. His voice would manipulate words so he would do what he wanted them to do. I thought his songwriting was untouchable, up there with the greats. While I was reading his lyrics, I played around with a few of my own and explored my inner voice. A day or two later, I lay in a bath and out of nowhere belted out the line, "This overdose got me slide up my living room wall." I grabbed a pad and pen and wrote the rest of the song in 20 minutes, still laying in the bath. It was a good song and I liked the lyrics, but as I'm not a new musician and my singing voice is dog shit, I had nowhere to go with it. Soul Asylum Dreamer became another song in my collection of songs that would never be recorded. For that first line, I came up with that, it wouldn't let me be, to get nagging at me, invading my dreams. It was unfinished business, and it was fucking with my head. So I made the opening line of my story I needed to share with the world. This became the start of 60,000 word catharsis. I fucking unloaded my soul from my pen onto the paper. I made a promise to myself there would be no compromise. I couldn't hold back on anything. I again become addicted. The obsession drove me on a daily basis to finish this book, and ended up taking a massive toll on my health. 10-hour shifts in work, followed by 6 to 7 hours of writing. I would regularly forget to eat. In 6 months, I went from 180 pounds to just over 150 pounds. I haven't been this light since I was a teenager. Music became as important to this book as the pen and paper did. I was nervous about expressing myself and what perception people would have of me. And then Tupac came on during the writing session. I was struggling in it, and the song Nothing to Lose became my theme song, my ring walk track. I felt invincible, and the ink started to fill the empty pages quickly. As a pound shop version of Bukowski, I know what I lacked in writing skills I could make up for its stories and humour. At times I would have a crisis of confidence and felt I was about to crumble, until I remembered I was the best looking author in Wales. So I used all my shit notes. The confidence would return, and the jokes and banter again would fill my empty pages. Trust me, it's hard work being the best looking human being to ever walk the earth when you're rocking an average sized cock. After 4 months of writing, I'd done about 50,000 words, which had been condensed to about 30,000, and I knew I had to finish the story. I didn't want another unfinished project to make me feel I was worthless and have nothing left to offer the world. And then DMX died. I was truly gutted about this, and I put my pen down for a week or two while I went to the dark place to mull over my life. If I died tomorrow, I'd have nothing to leave the world, apart from regret and wasted opportunities. A legacy of chaos dotted with insignificant achievements, such as most arrested sailor in Portsmouth Dockyard 2003 to 2006, where a time in primary school when I was champion all week of who could piss the highest against the wall. I hit the crossroads and I the sign. I ended up watching a podcast called Drink Champs, which DMX had been on 2 weeks before his death. I rolled a couple of joints and watched it, got emotional and got inspired. I did the next 30,000 words in 3 weeks that followed and completed my story. The quote at the start of the book is from Nietzsche, but is immortalised in song by DMX. Thank you, my friend. The final full stop was put in place on the 1st of May 2021, just over 5 months before I started. I'd written a 60,000 word story by hand, and I was proud of my achievement. And now I wanted to type it up and publish it myself. I didn't have a laptop at the time or funds to self-publish. Therefore, the M4 herb runs become more frequent on a temporary basis to get me the funds I need to complete my project. The plan went well, and I had the laptop cash within the first week, and a lump sum to self-publish about 6 weeks later. I typed it up in about 3 weeks and sent it to my sister to edit. I made the decision not to go to publishers, as I didn't want any negative vibes around me. This was my book, and my words, and my ways, so fuck off. How can you see what I see when your feet are always planted on the floor? You can't. I know, they tried and they fucked with my words, I couldn't allow that. I released the book in August 2021 and quickly sold lots of copies and lots of great reviews. I sold online and I sold in person. I sold some copies on the train up to Manchester just to pass the time, and some Nietzsche reading twat looked down his nose at me for not knowing I had a Nietzsche quote at the start of my book. Make you a dreamer, a fake, a fraud, that's something you can only dream of, and I've done it all on my own terms. The highlight for me, sending a copy to my old workmate AG. We'll talk about him later on. I was so happy I even included some original notes as a souvenir. I hope you got them. Again, I'll explain later on. The world turns differently every day, and billions of waves that dance in the sea are all individuals that share similarities. As I stand on my plasma doorstep and watch another beautiful early morning sunrise emerge from behind borderline, I feel grateful. I'm a grateful alcoholic, taking it one day at a time. I don't know what the universe has planned for me, but I know I'm not going to drink tonight, and I'm good with that. Tomorrow, I can't do anything about that right now, so I try not to let it get me down. Tomorrow comes, and Mark Lanigan died last night. I don't think I'll write another book. I'm going to put my pen down now, boss. I'm tired and I need to think. I'm going to close my eyes now, boss, and drift into the Kaleidoscope, Murmuration memories. Nobody here gets out alive.